working together as a team. There's no I in whatever. Um, so we discovered last night, I think order has been restored to the boxing community. I've never seen the boxing community so excited to have order restored. And there is an absolute, and again, order being restored, meaning that Anthony Joshua brutally knocked out Ngannou, and did it, in I would say ease and style, and in a way that boxing fans have to be very, very happy about. And then, instead of going, this was amazing, boxing fans being boxing fans have to start saying stupid shit like, well, this shows Fury did not, train.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. It shows that Anthony Joshua has hit a new level, really.
Well, why do we have to show our stupidity as boxing fans?
They can't help themselves. They can't fucking help themselves. They can't be like, you know what? That was an elite performance. Ngannou was close. So when I was watching, I sent you a text that I thought was very poignant to the group.
I had Ngannou winning.
Yeah, no, he won round one. Other than the knockout.
No. I'm sorry. I predicted him to win.
Oh. So originally I predicted Anthony Joshua as a knockout. Then I softened it and said it would be a decision. And then right before the fight, I changed it from a betting point of view. I looked at the odds. I'm like, I can't put money on Anthony Joshua. The good money plus 450, I can put $100 to win 450 with a Ngannou knockout. Still think Anthony Joshua will win, but I'm going to put my gambling money on a Ngannou at plus 450. And round one, I thought Ngannou looked pretty good and was winning the round up to the point where he wasn't. And then round two, I sent this text literally about 7 seconds before the knockout. I go, Anthony Joshua's timing is pro boxer elite, and Ngannou's timing is just a hair off. And when I'd sent that, Ngannou had just thrown a check left because he leads with his left hand. He'd thrown a check left that would have flattened a fighter if it had landed. And Joshua slipped it by a hair without any effort and countered and landed. And I went, fuck, now that there's film of Ngannou boxing from the Fury fight, he's timing it beautifully and he's setting him up. And a few seconds later, Ngannou went in with a left jab. And again, if you rewatch that, Anthony Joshua didn't just counter, he countered with anger. He threw that right with everything that he had off of that, off of slipping that jab, and it landed flush, and it was lights out, baby. It was lights the fuck. It was a beautiful knockout. Beautiful knockout.
I believe Joshua fought. He doesn't fight with this. He fought with a certain level of fear, and that brought him to the killer instinct. He was looking to get that motherfucker out
Quickly. Yeah.
Fury went in there playing with the fucking guy.
No. Watch it again. Fury went in round one and attacked with all of his vigor, immediately dove in and said, I'm going to take him out and dominate him. And it didn't go well. When punches landed on Fury, he had to step back and go, okay, I'm reconsidering. But he went in immediately. If you watch him right off the bat, Fury goes right across the ring and just attacks and quickly got checked. Joshua, so here's the thing, what I'll say, it's styles make fights. And to boxing fans out there that think that there's a transitive property, that because Joshua beat Ngannou and Fury didn't train or whatever, now Joshua will crush Fury. That's not the way it works. If it worked that way, then the San Francisco 49ers would be Super Bowl champs, because San Francisco beat Detroit. San Francisco beat Detroit, and Detroit beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Transitive property doesn't work in sports, period. There is no transitive property. Styles make fights. The reason the Fury fight went south is because Fury is a bully. Fury likes to use his size, and it was the one time his size and strength weren't an advantage. And then he had to box from the outside, and then he won the fight from the outside. Anthony Joshua is not such a fighter. You don't see Anthony Joshua roughing people up, period. He's a boxer. He sits outside and he boxes. And with Usyk, unfortunately for him, he came across a boxer who is a much better boxer than he is. And he got humbled as a boxer. In this case, he came across a boxer who's in his second boxing fight. And now he's had some time to look at it. And he said, I'm a much better boxer. And he proved it. And he timed it. His timing, this was the best Anthony Joshua we've seen. And people will be like, well, it's against. No, he was, you're right. He was afraid. He came in sharp and his timing was fucking perfect in that fight.
You know what's, and if you think about it, that the timing that you're talking about, those perfect shots that you're talking about, would not have landed on a smaller fighter.
No, everything was even the timing and the placement.
The match was perfect. Everything was beautiful.
Whoever's training him, because Anthony Joshua about 5 fights ago, I wrote him off, and I'm like, he has no heart, he has no killer instinct. He's fucking phoning it in. He's not really fighting. And now we're looking at an Anthony Joshua who's flatlining people that haven't been flatlined before and doing it with a stoic anger that you want to see out of a champ. Like, he looked hungry. And Fury, by the way, when he saw it, did not look happy about what he saw. He was like, oh, shit. Because if Fury beats Usyk, which is a big if, because Usyk is probably the best pure boxer in the world today. Him and Crawford.
But you also got to throw Deontay Wilder. That was somebody I thought would bomb Joshua out. Now I'm not so sure that
Joshua would fuck him up now. Wilder's fallen off, and quickly, and Anthony Joshua is now seemingly caught his stride.
I thought it was the opposite.
I thought it was the opposite. 4 fights ago, it was the opposite. Now, all of a sudden, it's reversed courses. Each of them are on different trajectories, and it does set up a mega fight. If Fury wins, can you imagine what getting a ticket to the Fury Joshua fight for the undisputed would be in Britain? Wow. I mean, it'd be Wembley, 100,000 people. They might have to expand, to 200,000 just to fit.
Be the biggest heavyweight fight in history.
Potentially, yes. Maybe even bigger than Rumble in the Jungle. They'd have to. There would be so many angry, drunken people from Britain getting in there and fighting over their fight. British people like to pretend that they're part of the crew and fight amongst.
You'd be having like those bands like the Lumineers and shit making political statements about it. Fucking Bono would get involved.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You'd have Paul McCartney coming out of the fucking crypt to say something. Yeah. What we have here is a beautiful fight between two champions.
Contest of fisticuffs, if you will.
And then you'd have the liberal media going, "This is racist. These two people are." In the meantime, Anthony Joshua was black, but they'd be like, "There's something racist about the British accent." Even Anthony Joshua is the brown face of white supremacy in the fucking world of boxing. It would be
perfect. It's perfect. It's so true. It's so true.
It would be an amazing thing. But I'm happy for boxing. I wish, as a fan, I wish it had gone a little bit, because right now I think Ngannou's boxing career is, even when this fight was chosen, I was like, I wish they had chosen somebody that he could flatline easily instead of going towards somebody I didn't think was a great matchup for him. I thought that they should have picked like somebody from the top 10 and made let him build his experience before going to Joshua. You know what I mean? But it is great for boxing.
Too much money. It's too much money to pass on.
Dude, he's now made $30 million in 2 fights. And in his last fight in the UFC, he made 600 grand. So Ngannou is a big winner, even though he did get flatlined. And at 37 years old, I mean, how much further can you go, really?
Thank you.
It's pretty much at this point a money grab. Get as much cash as you can. Now he'll go back to the PFL. He'll probably get the fight that he should have had before Joshua, which is maybe a number 10, number 9 guy. Throw him back in the ring. And if he wins that and wins one more, maybe another shot at the Gypsy King, depending on, just so Gypsy can come in and, whitewash that from his career. Because right now that's a black stain on the Gypsy King's career, is that fight. And I know that right now it's not appealing. It wouldn't happen. He
He
needs
can
to.
always come back to the UFC.
Well, he's going to be fighting in the PFL. So his next fight, I guarantee, will be doing what he actually does, which is, MMA. He'll be in the ring against other killers, bare knuckle, which is perfect. And he's probably got another 3-4 years. Ngannou probably has another, I would have said 10 fights before getting flatlined. Now I'm going to say 5. Because once you start getting flatlined, your brain starts cutting off a little faster when you get blasted. Once that jaw goes,
You don't know. You don't know. The way he got touched,
it might be it.
that might be his button.
It might be his button. It might be
It
it.
might be a Roy Jones. Once Roy Jones went, that was it.
Yeah, once it went, that was pretty much it. And this might be the end of his career.
37 years old. 37 years old.
Your chin isn't going to get stronger. You know what I mean? Once your lights go out that bad, and his lights went out as bad as it gets. That was as brutal as it gets at heavyweight. It doesn't continue. I think he'll grab a little bit more cash, and then he's out. And he'll probably do it, I would think, doing what he's best at, MMA. But who knows? Ngannou's a smart guy. I'm sure he has a good team around him. Now that he has $30 million, he doesn't have to rush. He can take his time and see what the future holds. But for boxing people, I'm happy for you that you now get your sport back, in the sense that you can say, this is what happens when a UFC fighter enters the ring. You'll learn again later that it's not always going to be this way, and you'll be pissed off. But when it does work out this way, I'm happy for the true boxing purists, because they can't handle any sort of change or variation to their sport chi. It gets them very upset when bad shit happens, or it doesn't work the way they want. They're a bunch of fucking babies, to be honest.